order. We have an approval of the agenda.
We need to amend the agenda and strike number 7 on new business.
Okay.
Other than that, I don't see nothing.
You second that, Kenneth?
Yeah, I'll say it.
Strike number 7.
Number 3 on whole business, that's being closed.
Yes.
Make motion, we move number 3 on whole business into a closed session.
I second.
Okay. All in favor?
I make a motion, we approve the agenda as modified.
Well,
I second.
all right, all in favor? All right. First up under old business is the Code of Ethics. Has the board had time to look over this Code of Ethics?
Had time, can I ask something, Liam?
Yes, ma'am.
In section 4, down in the administrative responsibilities, number 5, I guess I just need clarification as to, so are we not involved in any of the hiring, or I was kind of unclear about that one. So if you could kind of,
Well, that's a very good question, because who is going to do this then? Because you've excluded the mayor and
And the
2 aldermen. So who's going to, I mean, unless you set up a committee, which you could do, an independent committee, but who are you going to put on the committee? Because then you're going to be talking about things that should be confidential, such as information regarding an individual
and then
employees.
the recruitment of it. I know usually we're a part of that.
Well, I'm not sure. If you bring in the department head, then the individual department head has all the control over. I don't know if that's really.
So that was my only issue with this Code of Ethics. I thought that we may need to reword that to where that the town alderman should be involved and with.
I mean, when I read it, I thought it was a scribbler's error.
Yeah, I thought maybe it should
Because
be.
who else is going? I mean, you need the mayor as a supervisor of the employees, and then you need the 2 aldermen. Should be 3, but you need the 2 aldermen to, and this is not something in closed session, this is something we're doing it appropriately.
Oh,
Yeah, so it's
Okay,
fine, yeah,
okay.
it's fine. It's not individual employees' records.
right.
I think that, I took that as a scribbler's error. So it should include the 3 of you, should be 4 of you, but there's the 3 of you. And then if you want to change it to bring in the department head of the respective department, that's I don't think that's a problem. Did that answer your question?
So we just need to correct that one
Yes, ma'am.
before we approve this then.
What would you like it to read?
That it should include the mayor and
Just take out the
Should.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
strike, or just, yes, okay. Would you strike should also, or just?
the mayor and town aldermen should involve them. Yeah, that just is awkward language. The mayor and town aldermen will involve themselves
Yeah,
in the recruitment.
okay.
selection, promotion, and discipline.
Okay,
And then that leaves open, if you all wanted to set up an independent committee.
Yeah.
I mean, you can include that language too, but then we get kind of,
Yeah.
that's inherent under your authority with your job description.
Can I go ahead and go change that right now, President?
I mean,
Yeah.
well, you all gotta be motioned and approved.
did you have any questions about it, Kenny?
Yeah.
Well, I see another problem too. In that same section under administrative responsibilities, number 1, it's talking about the mayor, town alderman should clearly distinguish legislative and should refrain from inappropriate interference in the administration of town affairs by supervisors and other town employees as specified for the council manager form of government. We're not a council manager form of government.
Check on that.
We don't have, like the city of Asheville, they have a town manager, which their laws prohibit,
It
like the
was-
council.
It was referred to as a form of government in the audit for the state. And I'm not saying you're not correct. I'm just saying that just popped in my head.
And I don't have the statute in front of me, but there's 2 different.
Here it is. Just to be consistent, and you raise a good, it says mayor council form of government.
Yeah, we're not a mayor. Yeah, we're a mayor council form of government. We're not a council manager form of government,
so-
like this language.
Yes, so that would need to be changed to be consistent.
Yes.
That's my point.
Yes. So it should be mayor council form of government, correct?
Correct.
So another,
Yeah.
And I'm referring to the audit report that has background and it specifically says mayor council form of government.
Yes.
So yeah, you're correct.
Council manager, it should say the mayor
Yeah.
council before it's good. Districts.
So what would that inappropriate interference entail, Leo? In that same paragraph?
Well, you cannot, with any document, cover all.
Right.
And I think, and y'all's term ends in 3 years, so there'll be a new
Yeah.
mayor council form of government.
Yeah.
And I think the way this is written is broad in many respects to where it allows you some flexibility.
Yeah.
So that is one of the things, and there's many other areas in here. You know, there's a lot of discretion. You look at number 3, just above. Mayor and town aldermen should be honest, patient, dignified, and courteous.
Yeah.
We're all humans and we have moments. And that, you know, it just goes back to, you know, being a good person, I think, and staying in your lane, which is the administrative part of I don't want to get political, but you know, some of the things that Republicans blame the Democrat that's in office, and when there's a Republican in the presidency, the Democrats blame. So it goes back and forth. Are you being courteous? Are you following? Are you staying in your lane? And that's the way this is written, is very broad, to where you've got some guidelines, whereas now you don't. You don't have a code of ethics. And this is very comprehensive to where it gives you a good roadmap, but it doesn't, this
Gives you different.
isn't your Bible.
Okay.
I mean, it's not the, maybe I better not say that, I'm gonna get in trouble here, but it's not your manual on how to set up a DVD. You've got to, you were invested with the powers by the voters to interpret this and give the best form of government for the town, and it's election. So in essence, it's what you want it to be. And that's why being a team is so important.
I just printed one of those, make sure.
Yeah, in case we got more changes or whatever.
Would that answer the question? I know I brought up another one. I just looking up on something.
That's okay.
I like this, and you've got to have one. You can always modify it by vote of the board. But it is really, it's very comprehensive. I'm glad I didn't have to do it, but I did review it, and it does help. But you know, it's like anything else. If there's something in there as you go forward, this board and future boards, it gives you something.
Yeah.
To stand on.
Yeah.
And you know, we'll get into my position at this point. I'm just trying to help you as best as I can, because I have a hard day. And then I'm gone. And you will get someone better, I'm sure, than me.
Sean, let's
And if I
play
could,
those, okay?
and if I could just give advice that if there is any references to the council management form of government, that I'd suggest that in your motion, you allow the town clerk to go through and make any of those changes. I didn't see any others.
Don't see anything, but just in case.
Well, I'm gonna make a motion that we accept the code of amended code of ethics, and that we give the clerk the liberty to change any reference to mayor council, to mayor council from council manager.
I second that.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion passed. You accept the code of ethics.
You need to sign it before we forget.
Okay.
This is the new one. This is the two changes.
Okay.
So we need to shred the,
Yeah, I'll collect all those and shred those.
Okay.
I'm just gonna get it out of the way so it won't be thrown in with the.
Here you go, man. Next up, we have the code red system. I think Chad wanted to address the board about that, didn't you, Chad?
No, but I can.
Yeah.
Basically, the code red system is something, say, if we have a boil water notice or low pressure system advisory, something like that. We put it out on the on this code red, and it alerts the affected area. It sends out. I'm not exactly sure if it's a call or a text message that tells everyone to boil their water or that there's gonna be a low pressure. Anytime we have a break or any issue. Um, Before, I think Taco was doing this. And I mean, we could, do away with it, but at the same time, it takes more time and everybody's help going out. It takes hours with everybody, to issue a notice, and then you have to go back and issue a retraction. Um, so basically, if we have one leak that we have to issue this, it covers itself. But right now, no one's doing it. And I know everybody calls in with issues, and it's just, it'd be cheaper if we stuck with it, but we'd have to have somebody to do it. And I don't mind doing it, but it's a lot more work, and I'd like to get paid to do it. And, unless someone else wants to do it, that's fine with me too.
Sounds like a big responsibility
Oh, it
and,
is.
and very important to protect your electric.
Yeah, so. Who all was the first to get notified when we get a call? You?
Yeah, most
You
of the time.
or-
So you said get paid for it, to get it caught up.
Well, there's not really any caught up. It's like, if there's, like, say we have a water main bust right now. Obviously, my first thing was get it shut off. I send my guys to turn it off. But while they're doing that, I'll go online and I'll issue what area is going to be affected, and it'll send out those notices to whoever that can have affected. If it works like it should. And then give them the ETA when it's supposed to be correct.
And that should save all the earthall codes as well.
It should. But I mean, it's good to have it. It's really good. It's kind of like an insurance policy type thing, for a boil water or low pressure. Anytime something happens, need a storm or something like that, you're required, to do this. What issue notices, not this. This is just kind of it's cheaper option than doing the other.
I think we.
Now, what kind of compensation would or?
About 100. Honestly, I don't know. I'll leave it up to you guys. I don't know. I don't have a clue from where to start with anything like that.
And I don't either.
On later. I'm gonna make a motion to continue with code red and we'll discuss compensation. Close.
I second there.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Next up, is our budget here, and I'll give the floor to Linda, our finance officer.
template in there. That has all kinds of information. Becky worked with me many hours. It's pretty much self-explanatory, I think.
Wins you on this document, it's very informative.
Only thing is that fund balance. We had to do the fund balance, opposed to raising the rate on the water sewer, which is recommended. Yeah, we have a need to, notice will start July 1st with the cutoff list and late fees. That's gonna help with this fund balance as well.
I haven't done that since last year when we had invoice cloud pulling out double payments and not speaking with the software. But as of right now, not going, they're working together and they haven't pulled out double payments or anything like that. So it's been a headache. But I can't charge a late fee or anything like that when either the bank's not pulling it out or, they're getting charged double. So
Maybe we could make certain circumstances to waive it if something like that happens. Can't do that, probably. But
once we get to the Black Mountain, it'll all be incorporated in the
Well,
system.
Well,
So it's basically not that you are waiving it because you just don't want to waive it. It's because the system has got all the,
and we're in the
Policy
process of
stuff.
getting the new system as well,
Yeah.
which is gonna help.
But
everything.
Invoice Cloud and Southern Software do not really work real good together. And we've had to, both of the companies have had to rewrite programs to make them compatible to switch over from Invoice Cloud to the software that we use, Southern Software.
So one example of it not working together is they'll have a usage of 0 and it'll send out a bill for $100,000. I mean, it's that bad. We've had numerous people come in with no usage and it's charging an insane amount.
And they're mad.
Oh, yeah.
And if they make a payment, it won't show up and it shows that they're late.
it's really making your job even harder.
Yeah. Mr. Phillips, was you fixing to say something?
How much could we be owed?
I did run a report and it's $23,000.
So one more issue with it, when we get the raise,
How can we,
So I have to implement the cutoff list, period.
Mhm.
That's one of the big ones.
and you have to be fair to everyone, so if
Yeah.
some are paying and some are not.
Yeah.
But if the software is not jiving with one another, then, I guess you gotta go in manually
And it's a lot of time. Everybody, and you think that it is an easy task, but it's time consuming. And I do not like to make any corrections unless I've got documentation to back it up.
When we go out and read the meter, we'll enter the reads in the handout. Okay, when we do that, like say, for instance, we change out a water meter, it changes that read. And when we give it to her and she changes in the system, and we enter it in the handheld, and she puts it in the system, it changes it back to the old meter.
Every month when we do, when the system does an update, it'll kick out my new meter and put the old meter read back in there. And the next billing that goes through, if I don't catch it, and call some software to put my new meter back in there, it will bill them $100,000 like they've used an umpteen amount.
I would be so frustrated.
Well,
And-
our
and
water reports
can't
are
even-
off balance because of it.
Yeah,
as
we
well.
can't do reports correctly because we don't have the unaccounted for and accounted for water loss. When we enter a read in the handheld and we go to transfer it over into the system, it changes the reads like completely. And there's nothing, I mean, unless you can see each and every one of them, which I can because we read them and I write them down, but you can go back and look at those reads and look at the next read and it's wrong. So in each month, it's a little worse and a little worse. And that's kind of, that new meter system that we're getting, just, time. Hopefully that'll correct it, but
So it's almost like you guys are doing a job and it's not even,
yeah.
you're wasting your time.
In turn, it makes her job so much harder. There's no way she can go in and manually do each one of them because she doesn't have the information that she needs, nor will it stay in the system. It makes it impossible, nearly impossible.
Well, how long are you talking about a software? Looks to me like that's the problem.
Until we get our audit done, we can't convert to the new update. We can't convert to the new Black Mountain system.
So, and that goes back to like things and I mean, it's kind of like your hands are tied. I mean, I couldn't imagine doing her job. Ours is hard enough to get the reads, and then when we enter it, it shows the wrong number, which we go back and get another read because it shows on her end that it's wrong. And it's kind of like a ever going circle. I mean, it's a headache. So that kind of goes back to why the late fees and all that. I don't know. Hopefully y'all have the answer.
Mr. Phillips, you're saying about waiving late fees, that you have to be consistent with
You
everyone?
gotta be consistent with everyone. What I'm concerned about is it is a form of revenue. And if there's an amount owing and it's not been paid, then why do you have late fees if you're gonna waive for some but not all? Clearly, if it's an administrative error on our part, then you waive it. But if it's a failure to pay,
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
yeah, exactly, then you can't. I think it could be subject to an audit because how are you picking some but not all?
Right.
You can pick some because it was our goof, but you can't if it was theirs.
Yeah.
What Amanda is saying, if I'm hearing it right, is that she really don't have the time to differentiate which ones is a legitimate late fee and which one is a system late fee.
Well, then you're looking
And then
at,
she's not charging any late fees at all
Period.
because she's not.
I
And
can't
then,
charge some and not others.
Right.
but the legitimate late fees, need to.
But what Mr. Phillips was saying, you gotta be consistent, correct?
correct. And
Either
if
don't charge them or charge everyone.
That's what she's doing, is not charging.
Right.
She is being consistent.
Yeah, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So how much is that potentially, if you know? but you are able to determine who has not paid their bills.
Mhm.
and
I
who
can
has.
pull the list on that.
Okay. And that's the figure, that's $24,000. Then I think that's fine if you don't charge it across the board for anybody until you get the system
Yeah.
up, which takes place after the audit.
Okay.
So you think we need to wait?
I think you're gonna need to wait before you send the late fees, but, you've got tens of thousands of dollars that needs to be collected. It's owed.
Mhm.
If you can identify that they are late, then I think we can
Give a show
send them. Yeah, you can send them a late fee and a shut off, because they're not paying their bills.
Yeah.
But the others, yeah, I don't think you can. You're exactly right. Did that answer y'all? 'Cause that could be subject to an audit. And we're fixing the problem as we're going through the audit
Mhm.
of our accounts.
It's
Sorry. Sorry. I knew I had to move on. Sorry, Mr. Mayor, that was a good question.
Yeah, it was. I thought she must have asked more. Okay, any more discussion on the, budget hearing? Okay. Close.
Question. Is this an open meeting to the public
Yes.
where there should be open comments? So even though it's not on, you have opened it, so you might want to say
Yeah.
magical words.
Yeah, do we have any public comment?
Make a motion to close, but
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? All right, the alderman wanted to discuss the noise ordinance.
pretty much where it stands right now is we have received numerous complaints, on the nuisance ordinance and the noise ordinance, and with discussions with law enforcement. The way it's wrote up now, it is a civil penalty that pretty much we don't have a town police force, so we cannot carry it through with, so we're gonna have to change the ordinance to be a criminal offense to where sheriff's office can enforce it.
And I can go into detail when we go into the closed section on that. One of many suggestions I got in the list.
Do we have a copy of our noise ordinance?
Yeah, someone sent it to me and you kind of from several.
We need to look at doing an ordinance about putting stuff over our water lines.
true.
Potentially be a DOT issue too.
Yeah.
That's
So wasn't
that's
Cause I know I had to move my building because
there's a couple of issues.
I was too close to the pole, I had to drag my building out, up 4 feet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
Close.
Wait just a minute, Kenneth, I've got some stuff I
I
want
thought
to
you
discuss.
sent it to me. I should look at this one.
the noise ordinance.
We would have gotten from that.
One of the towns on the subject of ordinances, someone has allegedly taken down some of our street signs, which should say CS for City Street, and replaced them with street signs that say private for the Snyder Circle signs. And that violates the town ordinance, section 5, damage to lights, signs. No person shall injure, tamper with, remove, or paint upon any or deface any sign, signpost, street light, traffic signal, bulletin board, or property of the town along the streets and sidewalks, except employees of the town in performance of their duties. Violation of this section shall be punishable by a fine of not less than $500 or a term of imprisonment of not less than 10 days.
Contacted the district attorney's office, or do you want me to do that?
Does the board want to do that? It's the board's decision.
Well, I will tell you what, since I'm personally involved in that situation, I'm going to defer my vote to you. So,
I thought the signs were put back the correct signs.
No, they're still there.
What happened to them?
I don't know. The signs that, they private on, I think they're still up because they're not being new ones ordered.
What happened to the ones that was on there?
They're still there, weren't they?
No, they took our signs down and put,
And then I had no idea.
I seem to remember somebody sending me something that they were being housed somewhere.
No, we removed some signs. I don't remember what they said. But I think it said private.
Lizard?
yeah, there were also some signs placed on our posts. that
Yeah,
said-
that's the ones we were.
Yeah.
We told to remove.
Mhm.
So you removed them and they went back up?
No, this is our actual street signs. Leo.
Those are still there.
Someone took down our street sign, it should say CS, which stands for City Street, and put up private. Snyder Circle is maintained by the town of Robbinsville.
Do we maintain or is the DOT?
No, the town
The
does.
town does.
Well, it's,
That was one of those things where we were,
Some of this may need to be in closed session.
yeah, it was like DOT regulations and all that, and then it was like, we never did get clarity on any of it, so you can't really make a decision
What do you mean,
till you
Debbie?
get, because we were talking about that at one point, and the signs were taken down, correct? And they get put back up, and then there again, we started talking and saying that we needed to get up with the Department of Transportation and find out for sure what was going on. And we don't even do the signs, the county does the signs. So that is something that we would have to get up with. Who is it that does the signs for the county? Is it Marshall McClung
No,
or
Grind Mill Sounds.
Brian?
Yeah,
We would need to get up with him. I mean, you can't.
he actually ordered the signs for someone else. That's what I was told, and they put them up.
Till we get clarity, I know you know, I'm gonna have to make a motion to table it.
What do you mean by
Till
clarity, Debbie?
Well, there's a lot of different avenues that this is going in. You can't really make your decision until you get it clear.
You also, you've not gotten there yet, but you're getting close to what should be discussed in closed session first. And I'm not sure, I'm still trying to figure out what to do with your suggestion that you gave your vote to the mayor. I don't think you can do that.
No, he's got a duty to vote.
Or, well, I think we're getting into an area that should be enclosed.
I just think the town should be consistent on ordinances.
Was
Don't you
the
agree?
town ordinance
I
thing
agree.
brought
Don't you
up?
agree, Mr. Phillips?
I
The town should
I
enforce
agree.
town ordinances.
And I'm gonna stress again,
Consistently.
you're getting into an area that should be enclosed. Because you read off something in regards to a fine, and the town has no ability to do a fine or imprisonment.
Mhm.
So I think we need to go into close on this issue. And it's a very appropriate issue. I'm not saying it's not. It should be enclosed. You've not had a problem so far, but you're getting real close to that line. And you can always
Should we
think,
put this into closed session?
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right.
was that,
It wasn't even on
was it
here.
on the agenda?
It wasn't even on the agenda.
Well, we'll just stick it with the noise.
Next up, we have the Alderman want to put agenda creation.
Actually, that was Leon.
Okay. The attorney want to do that?
Well, we can do that in closed also. Well, no, I don't think
Like
it's
that was-
necessary. I think your rules of the Board of Procedure allows for the mayor and the clerk to put together the agenda.
Yeah.
And the one thing that, I just trying to reduce any confusion before you even start a meeting, because you publish your agenda and you send it to the board members. And I've noticed that some of your meetings, you have numerous numbers of things added to the agenda, which is in your purview to do, but it just seems strange sometimes that you have as many as 5 or 6 added onto the agenda when it could be very easily done to where the board, which includes the 2 aldermen and the town clerk who are here and responsible for what's going to be discussed, have an opportunity to put something on the agenda so everyone's prepared before you start the meeting. So that's the only reason why I asked to put this on as I was going through trying to figure out how to streamline this a little bit. And there is a provision in here that the mayor obviously, and in conjunction with the town clerk, put together the agenda. And I would suggest that you would also include any requests from the town board and maybe the attorney, that there may be something that I've come across, the ordinance, the town noise ordinance is one of them, because I've got a report to give you from law enforcement. Of course, one of our members of the board is also law enforcement, but I got it from the high sheriff of the county. So that's the only reason why I asked that it be put on.
Amanda she's got a form that fill out to request. items on the
That's why I did
agenda.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
But just as a simple reminder to everybody, because life has a way of taking over.
Yes. All right. So, any further discussion on the agenda? Next up, we got.
So I'm sorry, since I asked for it to be on, is the board going to vote on that, or what have you done?
Like, my Do we need to make a motion?
I thought, that we had like 48 hours to add to the agenda. I know a lot of times, we would try to add something to the agenda before that 48 hours and it was never put on there, so we would have to kind of
But
change the
what I'm trying to
agenda
do is to maybe say that since the clerk and the mayor, and if the clerk is taking the form, asking for something to be on the agenda, I mean, I didn't know that until, so last week?
List of that's been raised to be done.
Okay. So is that appropriate as a fix?
Yeah.
Okay.
So once the agenda is sent out to the press and everybody, can it be changed?
Well, it can be, but what the whole point of what I was suggesting was to avoid the embarrassment of adding 5 new things that no one is prepared to discuss.
Yeah.
So it's being recorded and sent out, and you've got one of the board members or yourself making a motion to amend the agenda, and the other part of the board is not prepared.
Yeah.
Because then you've got the sunshine rules that you're not supposed to be having conversations together. So that's why I'm suggesting that you have it sent 72 hours maybe, so everyone's got the opportunity to come in here or remind those to come in here and tell Amanda to put something on the agenda. So then when it goes out 48 hours before, you all are prepared
Yeah.
to address the things on the agenda.
How about if we had just put the form or have one form where you could add, you could request something on the agenda and put it in a specific place and leave it. That way, if Kenneth wants to put something on the agenda, he can come in here and write, maybe put it on that table. How would the board feel about that?
Yeah, that's good.
And that way it'll be there.
I'm not saying anybody's done anything wrong. I'm just saying it could be run just a little.
Yeah. Okay. So the board's good with that. We'll just create a form and we'll just have,
Yeah, I'm good with that.
all right, we'll just lay it on that table right there. Will that work for everybody?
Yeah.
All right. Up on the agenda, we requested this keeper of the checks.
That would be me again, Mr. Mayor. And I don't think any of this needs to be discussed and closed, but, I think the checks need to be a little more secure. And I think, the keeper of the checks shouldn't be a signer of the checks. I'm not disparaging anyone, but you're trying to think long-term to help the next board
Yeah.
and also protect both of the signatures of the checks. So if the keeper of the checks is someone separate than the person that's coming in, or one of the two that's coming in to sign the checks, then you've just added that little extra layer of comfort and security.
Yeah, it'd fall under segregation duties.
Yeah. And not that this building's not secure, because we do have the fine Grand County Sheriff's Department right across the street, but they have their hands full to begin with. And, I don't know if there's an alarm system on anything, or if there is an ability to get behind the counter. I didn't know where they were until just recently. That's why I asked. You set up something other than what you got for the situation with the checks. So, if I want me to, I can give a suggestion to someone to think about a motion. The keeper of the check should not be a person that's a signator. That's number one. And number two, the check should probably be put in the fireproof cabinet once we get it. I guess it's on order, right?
It's not, but it will be.
I thought you were going to do that last week.
Who is the signers of the checks?
Me and Amanda both are signers, but however, I typically am the signer. Just if I'm not around, Amanda, she is on at the bank as being a signer. But they definitely need fireproof safe.
And we already talked about that.
Mhm,
That was
yeah.
approved, I believe.
Yeah. And me, I think Amanda, personally, I don't know how to work it. She still needs to be a signer because what happens if something happens and I'm not here?
So the keeper of the checks could be one of the aldermen over there.
Yeah, but I'll go to the authority to sign the checks also. That's the problem with segregation of duties. And
I understand
Shadow
it.
of Lord. I think you are too, but I'm not on the thing.
You are on there as a check signer.
Well, they got enough to
Yeah.
do to begin with.
Yeah.
Honorary alderman over here.
Okay, so
I want that job.
You got a site at the Grand Star office, Kevin.
I can either confirm or deny that.
It's not one of the signers of all the checks.
then that's fine. That's fine. I mean, on an average, how many checks do you write a week? That's a lot. It's just it's corporations and other government entities and agencies operate, from what I've seen, and I've not done an all-inclusive search, but the keeper of the check should not be a signator, in my experience, as limited as it could be. It just presents itself a problem in the future. And everyone here is trustworthy. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm just trying to say that this is an easy fix to where you add that extra little layer of protection for the checks. Because clearly, number one, the checks need to be in a more secure place. And number two, to eliminate any issues, then you've got the keeper of the check who's clearly not a signator and doesn't place that person at an additional level. Now, you're bonded, correct?
And Amanda is as
And
well.
Amanda is too. Are the three of you bonded?
Well, no,
Are you
supposed to be.
supposed to be?
Yeah, the board and the mayor are supposed to be gone.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I mean, I got a malpractice insurance policy.
Yeah.
I'm not bonded, but I'm not the keeper nor the signer.
Yeah.
So there's nothing further I can add, even if we went into closed. I'm just offering that as a suggestion. Now, you are entitled to be, but you can waive it, but then that places you in an awkward spot. If the keeper of the check could be Amanda, oh wait, she's the town clerk, right? And you're the finance officer. You two need to be signatures of the check. Then you add one of the aldermen who would not be a signature of the check, specifically telling the bank you're not a signature of the check, and then you make one of the three of you the keeper of the checks. That would be my suggestion. You're at will to do what you want with them. But I strongly suggest the first part, that you secure the checks.
Yeah.
When is it? Say fiscal year.
It's not ordered.
Oh.
Yes, as soon as I,
No, you already
They did last.
did that. I don't have the option. Okay.
I just been really
Busy.
deep into the budget.
Saying that.
More discussion on that?
How about an immediate fix with the checks? What are we doing now?
They're in the same location.
Is there a safe to put them in until that time?
There is a safe, we can probably make room to put them in.
We don't have access to the safe.
Who has access to this child? You could be the keeper of the check. I wanted to include you.
So the keeper of the checks, I have a question on that. They pull the checks out every time Linda needs a check. I'm here all the time. There is everybody else.
But you're the town clerk,
I understand that.
Yeah.
so you don't want to be a signatory. I mean, it's
I'm
it's
here,
up to
I-
you.
they're gonna be
you know, it
placed
makes
back in
sense.
there every
You
time
know,
I need
I'm
'em.
here,
It's
Yeah.
gonna be,
and then the
Yeah, it'd be-
aldermen are not always here, and the mayor is not always here. And we've got vendors and payroll and everything.
To me, it's easier if, and I know you're saying if you're not here, if you take her off as the signer, have her, and then all three of us, and surely between all three of us,
Yeah.
we can sign the checks, because you need somebody in the office to be the keeper of the checks.
Would that be okay, Leo, for an alderman and the mayor pro tem to sign, or two
Yeah.
aldermen to sign it?
And you can have as many signatures on there. I mean, I've been in organizations, I won't name which ones, but, for partisan purposes, but I've been in organizations where you've had as many as 5 people that could potentially sign a check.
Yeah.
It's just reported that if it's outside the regular duties, like if you suddenly have come across the $5,000 cash check, then obviously there's a red flag
or
going.
then maybe that would be better. If you guys ain't available,
That way that
just
kinda
remove,
keeps
yeah.
you two
Yeah.
still.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then that's still 3 of you, that
really four.
4, yeah.
Yeah.
And that should be fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just an extra little layer of protection.
All right, I'm gonna make a motion that we make Amanda Jones the keeper of the checks, let's give the bank to get her on able to sign the checks, and let the checks be put into the secured safe on its arrival.
I second that.
All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion passed. Right. Next up, was the cameras.
It wasn't mine.
Who requested the cameras? Be on the agenda.
Jumped in me.
You and Kenneth both
Okay.
asked me to put it on the agenda.
The camera issue is police talk about crossing the line.
Oh, I have no problems.
But no, I mean, cameras, I don't know. We approved putting the cameras up for security reasons, and it just seems like the further it goes along, the more they're not being used for security. And I don't know, I think we may need to reevaluate and see who has authorities to look at the cameras and go back and monitor the cameras, because it's at the point right now that we keep getting the sound cut on, and that's not good. I'll just say that. Leave it at that, and we've got people monitoring different operations that, honestly, I don't know what Chad's doing. It don't do me no good sitting and watch the water department all day long. I don't know what Amanda and hers are doing. And, you know, maybe we need to kind of look at limiting access to the camera system to some security that we need to look at, honestly.
And there is a portion of this that probably should be discussed in closed section too.
Okay.
But she's not had a problem.
Well, that's all I want to say, and we'll leave it at that.
The rest of it in closed session. Motion to put that into our closed session.
Second.
All in favor? All right, next, is a class for Amanda. It's the New Clark Institute.
It's actually here, it's online. Regina Mathis had sent this to Linda and suggested that I need to take this course. It's 6 hours and it is $235 to take this class.
Is it a time, Amanda, where that you won't be disrupted
No,
with phone calls?
more than likely I'll have to close the office. It's, like I said, it's a 6 hour class, but they take an hour for lunch. So
What
that's
date is it on?
It is on July the 10th. And I can look at this.
I do feel like that you need it. I just don't want it to be to where that you're having to try to, tend to telephone, do the training, because a lot of times you lose stuff. If we could make it a way to where that, now, I see it now, let me flip back to that. So it's from 8. So basically, it's all day, okay? I'll let you look at that too.
There's a lot of training and cost that I feel like me and Amanda need as they come up.
Yeah.
The only way to keep the office open and allow you to get your training done is for somebody to fill in and take the telephone calls and post the bills when the people bring their water payments in.
Let's see, today is the 19th. That gives me a month to possibly train someone. That's all they would be able to do is take payments and answer the phone. My only other option is to close the doors to the public. Here. And I could post it on the door ahead of time.
Make the motion for Amanda to receive the training, and, I know, pre-audit is a thing that has been discussed with us. In our budget, July will be the beginning of our, and we've allocated money to training, right?
There's usually always money in the budget. I don't know how much, but Linda and I never do the training. I've been here almost 2 years, and I really haven't had training to be the clerk. And there's other stuff that I've got to get in order, like being a notary, but I haven't even looked at something like that. Becky Dan here in the office has taught Linda a whole lot.
Maybe we should fill out a purchase order where at the bottom of it, it says this has been pre-audited, and, I make the motion that we allow Amanda to have the training.
I'll second that.
As far as the office being open, I don't think that's a good thing for her. I'll make a motion that we close the office for that day, and we also notify the public in the Grand Star. And is there a way to do that too on our water bills? You know, when they get their water bill and it says the late fee and all
I
that?
don't have enough room.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Well, I just thought that might be
Yeah,
a way
that
too,
would be-
but. And then the notification on the door too. Go ahead and put it on there now.
Okay.
Is that something we could notify through the code red, or is that just for emergencies?
Yeah, emergency.
I'll say,
All in favor? Any opposed? Now, next up is Mr. Phillips.
Need to be in closed session.
Okay. All right, I guess we'll,
I mean, I can make one announcement. And I think I've told everyone that I've accepted a position with the East Urbana Cherokee Indians to be the lead prosecutor, and it looks like I will be starting. My immediate supervisor requests August 1st, but HR says August 5th, so I'm going to hammer out that on Thursday, which day it's going to be, but that is something that is going to take place, but I'm going to be with you to the very end, the very last moment possible, and because I know it's very important, and I can give you some details of who I've talked to and who is willing to come on in closed.
like, go. All right. Go into closed session now.
You've got employment and you've got legal things to be advised about.
okay, pursuant to the provisions of North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A3 and North Carolina Statute 143-118-11C, move the town of Robbinsville Town Council go into closed session to receive advice relative to the following. Receive advice from the attorney of the town of Robbinsville Town Council, which advice comes to the purview and attorney-client privilege. The advice will be general legal advice about legal issues or legal matters. And pursuant to the provisions of North Carolina General Statute 143-318C, I move that the town of Robbinsville Town Council go into closed session for the purposes of conducting personnel matters defined and allowed by North Carolina General Statute 143-318-11A6 and North Carolina General Statutes 160A-168.
All in favor?